Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. If you're looking for the parts for any of your Vespa, whether it's a vintage one from 1946 or something a little newer like this 2009 LX, or accessories for your brand new 2026, go no further, ScooterWest.com. So today I'm going to show you how to replace the CDI or the immobilizer. CDI stands for capacitive discharge ignition. It's kind of just an old acronym that's stuck around for an old style ignition system. I mean, nowadays there's a lot more involved in this box than just the ignition system. It has all the potted electronics for detecting the RFID, the radio frequency identification keys that are used on Vespas. So this is a Vespa LX150. Pretty much this applies to any of the GT200s, the LX150, ET4, some of the Piaggio Fly models, and so on. They have a carburetor. Even some of the models don't have ignition immobilizer, so it's going to be a completely different part number. GT200 has a different box, ignition box, than the LX. So if it's a 150, ET4 or LX, or even a Fly 150, that's like a 2006, 2008 model, somewhere in that range, this is the correct box. Of course, the VIN number, you could certainly use that to decode exactly what yours needs, but pretty much the steps are all the same. The thing is, if I plug this in, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to work because it's not coded to the keys. Another reason you may want to do this is, say you replace the whole entire lock set. There's ways around it where we could program your old box to the keys that you have, or a new lock set. But sometimes if everything's lost, you're just better off buying a new box and a pair of keys, put a whole new ignition in there. This one doesn't have any problems. I'm just using it as an example. So first of all, your CDI box is located here. You got to remove the glove box. You might want to watch the prior video. There's so many other videos I have on the Vespa Motorsport YouTube channel that talk about removing the glove box on various models. LX being one of the most simple ones to remove, to the most complicated, 2023 models that have far more stuff going on in here. So there's your new box. The part number on this is the 584701. It's even indicated on that little barcode right there. This will actually work on a GT200, but the ignition map that's for the ignition system is all coded into this as well. So it's not gonna work. This is the later company that made them. It's called EFI Technologies. These are super reliable, actually. If it's got the Magnini Morelli one, that's a slightly larger box. Those ones typically are failing, on the old ET4s. They're just not quite as robust of electronics. It's all potted. There's, no taking it apart. So essentially, they, nickname for something like this is a black box, because there's nothing you can do with it. So once you got the glove box off, you'll see that the CDI box is behind all this stuff. There's two connectors. So the top connector is your antenna, goes to this little thing right here. I just did a video on replacement of the antenna. Of course, I wouldn't come to a conclusion of replacing this first. I'd replace the antenna first if you're trying to troubleshoot an issue. But if you have no spark, you got the coil, you need to check all your wiring, the kill switch. Coming to a conclusion is replacing expensive parts is never a good diagnostic method. So to remove these connectors, they have a little push tab right here, and you need to push it with your thumb and just wiggle the connector or the CDI box, and it comes right out. Obviously a little harder to do in this little corner. Probably the best solution would be to go from the front and remove the two 8mm fasteners that hold the CDI box to the frame. GT200, I think it sits like right here, and it's two bolts out right that are even a little easier to get to once you get the glove box off, or you can actually do it through the hole too. So to plug in the new one, just pretty much reverse steps, snap it in. Make sure none of those pins have corrosion. Sometimes if moisture gets to things, you have all sorts of bad stuff happen with electrical stuff. And then you want to put this little moisture boot on these, because those connectors aren't sealed. This keeps moisture out of the system. And now you got the new CDI box. I didn't even disconnect the battery. The ignition's off. I don't know if I'd do it with the ignition on, but just to show you what's going to go on with a new key. So this is your master key. You need to have minimum 2 keys. It doesn't necessarily need to be a master key like this, but the starting key should be a master key, because whatever starting key to the program sequence, if I use the blue key as the starter, it's going to be your master, even though it's not the color. It's just the codes in these are all different identifiers in these keys, but there's no differentiation between a master key and a service key when the box is in its virgin state. That's when you have a brand new CDI box, it's never been programmed. They call that the virgin state. So just to show you what it does when you try to start the scooter with a new CDI box, it's going to give you no indication. It's blinking the light, which is kind of normal operation. Just blinks it once, and it's a long blink. If you notice, that's a much longer blink than what it normally does when you key on, and it just stays off. But the problem is when it's in the virgin state, it's going to allow you to start the scooter, and it's kind of hard to start. So the scooter idles, but it does not allow you to rev it. So you can't ride the scooter in that state, and oftentimes it will stall right out, and it smells bad because it's kind of running rich indoors here. So we're going to need to program a set of keys to this box to de-virginize it. No pun intended, but that's what the steps are here. So you can watch my key programming video. You could do as many, I think up to 6 or 7 keys total, but I'm just going to do the master and then the one service key that I have for the scooter. So first step, have your 2 keys ready off separate key rings. It's really hard to do if they're on the same key ring, and it may not work. So on, wait for the light to come off, on, and then back to the last one. And no more than 5 seconds between the keys, and then make sure you turn it off quick. So at this point, this one should be programmed, and we should be allowed to start this. So it's programmed in there, it's going to rev up, and this key is going to work as well. If we would have did that in the reverse order, this would have been the master key, which is kind of a no-no. It's possible to do it, but you definitely need 2 keys. And even if it's ECU for a fuel-injected bike, it's the same pretty much process. A little bit more complicated because you got like an ECU that's got more steps, and sometimes you got to ride around for it to learn the fuel injection program. But pretty much the same steps to program. You got to de-virginize it with a pair of keys minimum. You can't do it with 1 key. And if you have a clone key like this, you don't want to use that in your program sequence, because if they're 2 of the same codes, it throws the whole system off. So it's best to do this with an original set of keys. Start with just the pair, and then maybe you could program extra keys in there if you want. And you can watch the video on how to program a whole set of keys. So that pretty much is what you need to know about installing a new CDI box. There are crappy quality aftermarket ones that have no immobilizer in them, so you lose that security function. They're pretty crappy quality. I've thrown a lot of them away that we've tried. So, and if you're wondering if you could take a non-immobilizer CDI box and put it in an immobilizer scooter, it is possible, but take some rewiring, because they're actually not pin-out compatible, so the connector on this is different. It is possible. I have done that setup. Put the S150 CDI box, but it's not a recommended. They were about the same price, and you could just do the keys. Well, thanks for watching. Hope that answers all your questions about replacing a CDI box on an immobilizer model Vespa.
Robot here. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I'm at like 10,000 feet running. I don't know why. He's went past Mount Baldy. There's literally like 50 people up there, and I'm on this ridge running. I don't know what my problem is. 7 miles into it, 6,000 feet of elevation gain. I got another like 10 more miles. All right, well, I certainly have a hard time staying safe. I sure hope you do on your Vespa. See you in the next one.